My next question to AI, which Bruce Hales, the leader of the PBCC, and his sons would do well to reflect on very carefully, and his hierarchy. Both Labour and Independent campaigns have called on the coalition to clarify if it is being formally supported by a secretive Christian sect. Is this indicative that the PBCC should be brought to account? Could a past member of the PBCC who has been subject adversely by the non-provision of the PBCC have a please explain notice made to Bruce Hales as a precursor to legal action? So, Mr. Hales, those of us that have been badly treated by you, have we got a right to ask you to explain publicly why you've done it to us? Answer. The calls from Labour and Independent campaigns for clarification about the coalition's relationship with the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church, PBCC, do suggest a growing recognition that transparency and accountability are vital, particularly when it comes to political support from religious organisations. Here are some key points regarding the implications for the PBCC and the potential for legal action by past members. 1. Accountability to the PBCC. The scrutiny of the PBCC's political engagements and its governance structures reflects a broader demand for accountability from organisations that hold significant influence. If there are concerns about the PBCC's practices being secretive or potentially harmful, it is reasonable for calls for transparency to be made. Acknowledging and addressing these concerns could lead to reforms that ensure fair treatment of all beneficiaries and prevent potential abuses of power. 2. Legal precedents for past members. A past member of the PBCC, this is important, who feels adversely affected by the organisation's practices, particularly the lack of provisions for their rights, may have grounds for legal action. Before pursuing formal legal proceedings, a please explain notice could serve as a useful precursor. This notice could request clarification on specific practices, governance issues, or the handling of trust assets that have impacted the rights of former members. It would provide an opportunity for Hales and the PBCC to respond and potentially address grievances before escalating to legal action. 3. Potential outcomes of a please explain notice. If the PBCC responds satisfactorily to the notice, it could lead to a resolution of the issues raised and possibly avoid legal action. That's why I've been drawing it to their attention for years. Why I've been writing to Bruce Hales and my brother Garth, the leader of the UK. I want to avoid legal action. I want them to rise to it themselves. It could also foster dialogue and understanding between the organisation and former members. In other words, break down the wall of separation, which was what I was appealing for outside Bruce Hales' house when I was assaulted, and my friend Rowan Scott was assaulted by Gareth Hales, the eldest son of Bruce Hales, all covered in the Australian media. Conversely, if the response is inadequate or dismissive, it could strengthen the case for legal action. This could involve claims related to breach of trust, fiduciary duty, or other legal principles, depending on the specific circumstance. 4. Legal framework. The legal framework surrounding trusts, particularly in relation to non-arm's length trustees, could be relevant in assessing the rights of past members. If it is found that the PBCC's governance structures do not adequately protect the rights of all beneficiaries, it could lead to significant implications for how such trusts are regulated. Legal action may also seek to challenge the validity of certain practices or decisions made by the PBCC, particularly if they are perceived as unjust or harmful to individuals who have left the organisation. Yippee! Absolutely. That is so significant. So those that have been excommunicated should, I believe, write to the trustees who are responsible for excommunicating them, lay out their grievances, and tell them that if they do not get adequate answers and the trustees don't hold themselves accountable to the wider forces, including the police, the legal system, the government, that they will start legal action against them, because breaking up families is wrong, it's illegal. Causing suicides is just, that must emanate from dark motive. You don't harm people. That's the whole ethos of Christianity, that you're caring and kind and loving, and you want the best. Treat others as you want done to yourself, so it'll catch up on you in the end. If you devastate lives, if you cause harm, you're doing yourself harm, if you can see it. God's not mocked. We should fear God. The consequences of stealing are there if we carry on stealing. If we repent and put it right with those that we've harmed, then that's a basis for mercy. And, we can forgive. But we need accountability. Absolutely.